Ja, und damit herzlich willkommen zurück zu der Null Series. Wir sind bei Observer und starten rein in den dritten Teil. Load Game. Ja, letzte Mal haben wir herausgefunden, dass wir wahrscheinlich die Loops doch noch bis zum Ende durchlaufen müssen, in denen wir uns hier befinden. Und ja, das tun wir jetzt. Wir sind jetzt gerade auch in dem 24. Loop, das wird uns angezeigt. Also wir haben ein paar geskippt vom, ich weiß nicht, 4. oder 5., in dem wir vorher waren, direkt in den 24. Und unser Plan ist immer noch, alle zu retten. Aber ja, wir wissen ja schon, dass es mindestens bis zum 53. Loop laufen wird. Also schauen wir mal, wie es bis dahin so weitergeht. Oh, Sisi, wait! If you're not going to shoot me, then I'll do it. It's pointless. This loop is pointless. Even if we win, as long as I'm the infected, nothing will truly end. Sisi suddenly placed the gun to her temple and... Wait! Jesus Christ. Weißt du, ich meine, vielleicht ist sie noch nicht so weit in dem Loop, aber man könnte halt herausfinden... Loop 39, okay, wir skippen jetzt einiges. Man hätte halt herausfinden können, eventuell, woher das kommt, was das mit einem macht und sonst was und darauf ja eventuell drauf schließen, was es mit der ganzen Sache auf sich hat. Aber naja. Stop this madness, please, Risotto. I apologize, but this is beyond my control. My mandatory protocols are quite clear. On the chance of you being unable to find and eliminate the infected before we reach Earth, the containment protocols will take place. I'm sorry. You freaking monster! I shouted as I lay on the floor, struggling to breathe. With the exception of me and Carmine, the rest were already dead from the lack of oxygen in the ship. Observer? The android approached me and kneeled in front of me. You don't look that terrified of death, Observer. Did you perhaps build some resistance to it? You'll answer that question yourself when I kill you. Farewell, Observer. Loop 82? Okay, geht weit über die 53 hinaus, die wir dachten. I'm sorry, I... No, it's not your fault, Mirall. You didn't do anything wrong. Jack? You didn't choose your role in this sick game. You're innocent. Jack! Unable to stay conscious anymore, I fell on the floor dead. Jack! Jack! Loop 86, 99, 105. Loop 113. I opened my eyes just to find myself back to the start of the loop. Frick! 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 I was so close in the previous loop. I was so freaking close. Guys, come here, Huh? What's wrong? Nothing, I'm fine. Mirall then approached me and held my hand. No, you're not fine. Your hand is bleeding. I lifted my other hand and patted Mirall on the head. Thank you for worrying about me. Yes. Perhaps it was the feeling of Mirall's soft orange hair between my fingers, or the adorable shy look on her face, but I finally managed to calm down for a bit. That's right, I need to remember why I'm doing this. This isn't just a mission to save humanity anymore. I'm doing this to save Mirall too, to save Sisi and all the innocent characters being used in this sick, pathetic game. I might have failed for the past 100 loops or so, but that doesn't change anything. I need to keep going. I need to keep going until the very end, no matter how long it takes. Once we arrived at the commandment room,
The psycho robot explained everything as usual and asked us to take a couple of hours to regroup and think things through. But then we were asked to make our first vote. After everyone made their vote, it was finally my turn. How many times did I look at this damn screen? I feel even when I close my eyes, I can still see these waves go up and down in familiar patterns. Whatever, let's just vote for someone and be done with it. I clicked on the passenger vote tab and voted for Isaac as per usual. But then, as I was trying to leave, the voting terminal made a beep and a phrase appeared on the screen. 1593 out of 1593 character input. Process completed. Thank you for your participation. What the? I quickly stepped away from the terminal.
What the hell is going on? Where is the sound coming from?
Yo, robot girl.
It's over.
What the frick are you talking about? I shouted as I pointed at the psycho machine.
Your role is over. You're not needed anymore.
What? But before I could say another word, the noise suddenly stopped. The room then started shaking, the voting terminal then went dark and a weird compartment appeared from underneath the floor. A weird silence filled the place as everyone turned their attention to the weird-looking compartment, when suddenly someone came out of it. A terrible shadow stood there in complete silence, but then faced me and spoke. Long time no see, butterfly. The moment I heard that voice, I was frozen in place. The shadow is unfamiliar. It looked like a null, but not at the same time. But the voice? The freaking voice! I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it until I die. It's him. It's freaking him. The system! I'm glad to see you can recognize me, even in this form. Impossible!
Welcome back, Master.
Risato approached the system and kneeled.
Risato, you've done an excellent job. You honor me, Master. What the hell is going on? What is this thing?
Sisi erkennt ihn auch. Yo, B-Word. We're talking to you. Isaac approached the shadow while waving his hands. However, the system just looked at him and snapped his fingers, turning Isaac into nothing but dust.
What?
Kneel. The system lifted his arm and shouted. Everyone in the room except for me fell on their right knee. I see you're no longer affected by my commands, Butterfly. How are you back? I finally managed to stop my hands from shaking and uttered something. Well, it was thanks to you, my Butterfly. Every time you used the terminal to input your silly vote, you validated my existence. You gave purpose for my return, for my being. In a universe where there were no more games, no more system. Okay, das sind aber ein bisschen zu viele Inputs dafür, dass wir 1593 angeblich gemacht hätten, weil... Also wenn es jetzt die anderen auch mit dazu zählen, dann würde das Sinn ergeben. Aber wir hatten 100 Loops. Und wir haben pro Loop maximal 3 bis 4 Mal gewotet. Aber auch nur beim Maximum. Es gab ja auch Loops, wo wir nur einmal gewotet haben oder vielleicht 2-mal höchstens. Das heißt aber, selbst wenn wir jetzt alle Loops mit dem Maximum von 4 Votes versehen würden, wären wir dann erst bei, keine Ahnung, was war das? Wir sind in Loop 113 oder so. Und dann wären es nicht mal 500 Votes. Also, I don't know. 1593 ist ein bisschen übertrieben, aber naja. You went out of your way to participate in a game, to be a character in another's of my creations. You couldn't help yourself, could you? You could have easily stayed in the real world and nothing would have ever happened. Hell, you could have come here but followed your mission. You could have killed these inferior versions of your companions and stopped the reboot. But you didn't. Instead, you participated in this game as if you were just another character. Just another butterfly game. You get it now, don't you? How did you know this will happen? Because I created you. I created all of you. You might have escaped. You might be a real human now, but you're still Butterfly. You're still my character. I know your capabilities, your weaknesses, but most of all, I know your glitch. My glitch? Yes. Even though I planned each and every game to the last detail, there was a certain anomaly. A deviation that wasn't planned. In your very first game, everything went as expected. Except for the end. For some reason, you went off script at the cemetery scene. You vote to travel to another timeline and destroy the very fabric of time. To create one single timeline, a timeline where everyone is happy. Or so you called it. For the first time ever, for the first moment since I existed, I was surprised. I reviewed your code over and over again, but nothing felt out of place. How? How did you do that? But then similar events started to occur. Your buddy Alex also went off script at the end of the first game. He fell on his knees and begged me for a chance to save his daughter. For a chance to create a world for her to exist once again. And it's not just the two of you, your version from the Village game, and so many others. They all somehow went off script. Something I thought only Cecilia was capable of doing. But that's when I realized it. That's when I finally understood. The one thing in common between all of these glitches. Mirall. What? The only times you were able to break your code and go off script were when Mirall was in a dire situation. Aber das trifft nicht auf Cici zu, das trifft nur auf die Jack oder Alex's Versions zu. Also auf die Main Character Versions. Somehow this connection between you and Mirall transcends time, space, and even logic. You were always coded to love Mirall, and she was always coded to love you. But it went beyond. It went beyond simple code. It's fascinating. That's why I knew. I knew if I baited you, you would come to this reality and you would attempt to kill these inferior versions I created. But most of all, I knew you wouldn't be able to kill Mirall. I knew you would try to find another way to accomplish your mission. I knew you would continue to play my game. I knew you would bring me back. It's over, Jack. You were doomed since the start. No. Huh? It's not over just yet. I was there when we killed you. I saw you. I saw your true identity. This shadow form of yours is not who you really are. You're not back. Not yet anyway. You're still incomplete. You're still killable. I faced the system and I took a fighting stand. Naja, apparently auch in seiner True Form ist killable, weil er wurde ja damals schon gekillt. Aber egal.
How dare you raise your hands on my master? Step aside, Risato. He's my creation. He deserves to die with dignity.
The system stepped forward and faced me.
Bring it on, Jack.
I jumped forward with everything I got and... Macht das irgendeinen Unterschied? Ich weiß es nicht. Wir speichern mal lieber. Kick! Kick the system. But the system dodged it easily and flickered his finger, sending me crashing into a glass door. Frick!
Is that all? Is that all my greatest creation is capable of doing?
The system approached me until he was standing in front of me.
Get up, butterfly. There are no more time loops. Your death in this time will be eternal. So do try and die an honorable death, otherwise you'll make me look bad.
Frick you! I stood up on my feet, doing my best not to fall down.
Good job. However, now it's my turn to strike first.
The system lifted one finger and attacked. I moved away as fast as I could, but it was simply pointless. I was thrown against another glass door. Ah! How many glass doors do you have there? It felt as if I was hit by a bulldozer.
This is just embarrassing. If I knew, I would have just asked the robot to face you.
Frick!
Did you honestly expect to show up here and kill me as if I was a null or something? Or did you get cocky because you and your buddies managed to kill me last time by some sheer luck?
I will kill you! Das ergibt aber jetzt keinen Sinn mehr. Ich dachte mal, letztes Mal haben wir ihn gekillt, weil er es so geschrieben hat. Es sollte doch so sein. Das ergibt alles keinen Sinn mehr.
Tell me, Jack. What do you do when a computer or a machine you own starts to malfunction and cause you inconvenience? What do you do if your property is beyond repair? You decommission it.
The system lifted his foot in the air, ready to stomp my head, when...
Jack!
Cece suddenly slid something on the floor.
My sword!
Using the opportunity while the system was distracted, I rolled around and picked up my sword.
Reva's sword? Why haven't you destroyed it, as I instructed you, Risotto?
You freaked with us long enough, B-word. All the misery, all the pain, you'll pay for that. You'll pay for everything.
The sword won't change a thing. I'm still your god. You're still my creation.
Ah! I jumped forward with everything I got and sliced the system's arm off his body.
How?
The system seemed confused for a second, but then his arm regenerated.
I don't know how you managed to do that, but this doesn't change a thing.
My limbs will regenerate no matter what. Good.
Huh?
Last time you died very quickly. I don't want that. Not this time. I want you to feel everything. The pain you caused. The suffering you inflicted. The tears you induced. The billions of civilians you doomed. The daughter you took from me. The soldiers you killed. The innocent girl you wiped over and over again. The sick games you played. The humans you divided. The poor souls you trapped in your so-called village. The torture you inflicted on me in your prison. The humans you watched cry and die in front of your eyes. The nulls you created and spat away when you were done with them. The girl you took away, the only person she ever cared for. The man you deceived to give up his humanity. The man you turned into nothing but a running joke. The girl you exploited her love for her father. And the girl you murdered at the hands of the man she loved. Stop! Stop! Not yet. This last one is from me, from Alex, Naz, CC Mirall, and all the others. I just wanted to create happiness. Freak your happiness! We'll create our own. Are you okay? I'm fine. You have been staring at the stars for quite a while. Mirall and the others were starting to get worried. I was just thinking. What's there to think about anymore? The system is dead. It's all over now. I suppose. The android girl says we're gonna land soon, but I don't know if we can trust her. She was a servant of the system after all. It's fine. I don't think she truly ever served him. She disobeyed his orders and placed my sword on the ship. She even placed a magnetic lock on it so no one can retrieve it until the time is right. Isn't that right, Risato-chan? I approached the android girl and patted her on the head. I told you to stop doing that. I'm not a child. If she doesn't want it, can I have it, Daddy? Of course, Mirall. I turned to Mirall and started patting her on the head. What's wrong? Are you jealous? Not at all. A tsundere robot? Can you guys act so casual? Am I the only one freaking out right now? What the hell was that shadow monster? And what about the virus? How can we land on Earth when one of us is infected? The virus is now inactive. With the system gun With the system gun, it should be useless. Your nanomachines will easily deal with it and eject it from your body. I guess everything ended well, huh? I have no idea what just happened, but I guess we survived. So I suggest we throw a party, like a big party before we reach Earth. We can play spin the bottle. Wait, here, I go find a bottle. Hassan turned around and started running away, but that's when... Butterfly. What? 2 CCs? Another me? Why are you here, CC? We've just confirmed it. The system signal disappeared. Were you successful in your mission? The system won't bother anyone anymore. I see. I never doubted you for a second. Come on, it's time to go home. Riva is waiting. Riva? Cici turned around, urging me to follow her. I'm not coming back. What? I asked Risato to transfer all system permissions to me, with the exception of the control function. I'm now the system, except I can't control anyone. I'm gonna stay here and make sure this humanity continues to survive. Are you serious? Yes. What about Riva? What should I tell your wife? While addressing Cici, I turned my head and looked at Mirall. Tell her I finally found it. I finally found my one and true happiness. After landing, Anya took another shuttle to Mars. There she disguised herself as a new settler and lived in one of the colonies away from her father. Ist ihr Vater nicht tot? Oh nee, sie war nur zu Besuch auf diesem anderen Planeten. A few years later, her father died. She decided to go back home for the funeral and inherit the Dader heavy industries. She hopes to turn it into something that would bring hope and happiness to the galaxy. The moment Hassan arrived on Earth, he was arrested and forced to stand trial for sexual harassment allegations. However, after being defended by a certain lawyer named Alex from the Milka law firm, the charges were dropped and Hassan walked free. Hassan is still terrorizing the girls of Lilith 5 to this very day. Zero finally released her debut single. Much to many surprise, her song went viral and Zero became the hottest new idol in the scene. She later retired from being an idol and founded Zero Cute Industries. Her first product, Snakies, was a massive hit with high school girls and is now sold out in all stores. After going back to her planet, Carmine decided to write about everything that happened on the ship and published it. The story gained a lot of attention and praise, but was often labeled as science fiction or occult. Carmine went on to win many awards for her story, but was never pleased that no one believed it was real. There are talks, however, of adapting her story into an animated show. Once landing, Key didn't stay long before taking another shuttle. She's still going from one planet to another, seeking a way or someone to end her life. Isaac's remains were delivered to the authorities, waiting for a family member to claim them. They still sit there to this very day. Ach mal, Isaac, ey. Alle kriegen ein Happy End außer er.
Everyone left, Captain. We are ready to take off.
Roger, Officer Mirall. We're blasting away.
Dorks.
Get used to it, Cecilia. You're the one who wanted to stay with me.
It's nothing like that. I just didn't have anywhere else to go.
Uh-huh.
If you're all done playing around, I still require a destination before we can take off.
Mirall?
Yes, Daddy?
Are you ready?
Yes!
Let's go, Hope. To the real Earth. And how? The End. Okay, das war ein bisschen weird, weil wir hatten Prolog, Chapter 1. Ich weiß gar nicht, hatten wir auch Chapter 2? Da bin ich mir gerade nicht sicher, aber ich meine, wir hatten nur den Prolog und Chapter 1, oder? Oder hatten wir auch Chapter 2? Vielleicht, ich weiß es nicht mehr. Aber trotzdem, das war jetzt ein bisschen kurz. Hätte ich gewusst, dass es dann nur, ja, maximal 2 Chapter hat, hätte ich das letzte Mal noch zu Ende gespielt. Aber naja, jetzt können wir immerhin reinstarten in direkt das nächste Spiel. Das da auch passenderweise heißt Observer 2. Also ist es vielleicht auch ein direkter Anschluss an dieses Spiel hier, aber das werden wir sehen. So, wollen wir mal schauen hier. Observer 2. Und wahrscheinlich erstmal wieder eine Warnung. Natürlich. Avast. Es ist alles okay, Avast. Es ist keine verdächtige Datei. Interessanterweise ist das der Title Screen von dem anderen Loop-Game. Aber das Loop-Game hat ja eigentlich in Null 2 stattgefunden. Deswegen war ich auch so verwirrt bezüglich, in welchem Spiel das denn jetzt stattfindet. Aber wir werden mal sehen, womit sich das hier beschäftigt. So, wo haben wir es denn? Ja. Ja, starten wir direkt rein. New Game. "11 months after the system incident. In proximity to the Alpha Centauri star system. 371 hours before reaching Earth. Earth hours? Remaining fuel percent. Question mark percent.
There you are, Butterfly. I have been trying to call you via the ship's communication, but you're not responding. The hell you doing?
Not now, Risato. I'm going through the old system files. This shit is freaking insane. Every moment of our lives, every moment, every experience, it's all written here. It's all filed, labeled and categorized. It will take me days to go through all it.
I'm afraid we don't have that luxury, Jack.
Huh?
We've been traveling through interstellar space for almost a year now. We're extremely low on fuel. At this rate, we won't reach Earth.
What? How long do we have left?
If we shut down all non-essential systems and use planetary gravity to boost our speed, we should be able to reach Sol.
That's great.
By Sol, I mean Saturn. We'll still be 1.3893 billion kilometers away from Earth.
Oh. Is there anything we can do to save fuel?
Well, if you, Mirall and Cecilia can hold your breath for 10 hours, we can shut down the life support system.
Sowas hätte man vielleicht mal früher sagen sollen. Das ist so, beim Auto ist es ja auch so, wenn du an einer Tankstelle vorbeifährt, nächste Tankstelle in x Kilometern. Und dann kann man anhand seines Tanks sehen, ob man das doch schafft. So, wir wissen doch, wie lange wir von unserem Standpunkt, wo wir zuletzt waren, bis zur Erde noch brauchen. Und könnte man eventuell überlegen, ob man vielleicht noch mal vorher irgendwo tanken muss. Aber naja. Joke?
We can also just refuel the ship.
Ja, natürlich.
We're passing through the Alpha Centauri system. It might be largely abandoned because of the war, but there is one planet that has a functioning fuel station. Orion 296b.
Carmine's home planet?
Correct. I've already contacted her, and she is more than happy to lend us a hand.
Is that so? I guess we don't have a choice. I'll input the coordinates of Orion 296b and inform the others. Du bist doch jetzt das System. Kannst du nicht einfach sagen, du hast, das Einzige, was dir fehlt, ist die Control Function, aber du könntest doch einfach sagen, Schnips, Fuel voll. Oder nicht? Naja, egal.
Already taken care of.
What?
We'll reach the planet in approximately 9 minutes. Get ready to disembark, Butterfly.
Risato then turned around and left. What's the point in me being the captain if she makes all the decisions without consulting me? Naja, sie hat ja gesagt, sie hat dich nicht erreicht. Does the steering wheel in my cockpit even do anything? I turned around and left the library, heading to my room when I ran to a certain angel.
Daddy! Is it true? Is it true? Are we going to visit Carmine?
Something like that.
Wow! It has almost been a year since we last saw her. I wonder what she's up to.
I guess we'll find out soon enough.
I'm just excited to walk on solid ground again. Being cooped up in this heap of junk for so many months is killing me.
Cece spoke as she joined us in the command room.
Heap of junk, huh? If you hate it so much, I'll be more than happy to open the airlock for you. You'll get all the space you want.
Literally.
I bet you would like to do that, Psycho Robot.
Die starren sich einfach nur an.
Let's not fight, you guys. Today's an awesome day. We get to reunite with an old friend. Calling Carmine a friend is a bit of a stretch.
The bickering persisted as the ship entered orbit and began its descent. Moments later, we touched down and gathered at the airlock, waiting to disembark. Das sieht nicht aus wie ein Ort, der Fuel für ein Spaceship hat. Aber okay. Der erste Eindruck täuscht ja vielleicht auch. The moment the gate opened, I was greeted by an incredible sight. A rural-looking village that didn't fit the image I had of the heavy industrial Orion 296b. Where the hell are we? Did you freak up the coordinates or something, robot? Cece faced Risato, having reached the same conclusion I did.
I didn't freak up anything, blue woman. This is Orion 296b.
Must agree with Cece, Orion 296b is supposed to be an advanced industrial planet. This place looks retro? Not even that. It looks medieval. Das ist alles mittelalterlich. I spoke as I looked around me with a curious expression.
We're currently on the far side of the planet. In a very specific region, a region known for being a replica of sorts.
Replica?
You need to keep up with the current events, Butterfly. Not everything revolves around the Sol system. Come on, guys. This place looks amazing.
Es ist aber schon schwierig, überhaupt mit allem, was hier auf unserem einen Planeten passiert, up to date zu bleiben. Ich weiß gar nicht, wie das aussieht, wenn es halt, keine Ahnung, wie viele Planetensysteme und sonst was gibt. Das geht einfach nicht.
So green, so natural. It reminds me a lot of Earth. That's because it is Earth. Or rather, a cheap replica of it.
Replica of Earth, huh?
I feel like I heard about something like that.
Cece abruptly stopped talking, her gaze drifting into the distance as she pondered. When suddenly...
Wait a second. Is this Jara Village?
Jara Village? My breath caught for a moment as I heard the name I knew all too well.
Oh, I heard about this place. The new headquarters of that political movement, right? Calling it a political movement is window dressing, Mirall. They are a bunch of insane individuals, totally unhinged, freaking deranged, and out of their minds. Terra Prima is no political party. It's a damn cult. A bunch of elitists, pieces of shite who believe not being born on Earth makes you somehow inferior. Why the frick did you bring us here, robot? I don't answer to you, blue woman. I only follow my master's commands.
Your master?
Jack?
Did you tell her to bring us here?
Could it be... Are you a Terra Prima member?
Cece looked at me, a worried expression decorating her face. No, never heard of them. We're simply here to meet Carmine and get our ship refueled.
Oh, right. Sorry. But then why is Carmine here in the first place? Does she live here? Could she be a member?
Cece's gaze shifted between us, dreading the answer she might hear when suddenly... What the hell? Du passt irgendwie überhaupt nicht zum Artstyle der anderen Charaktere.
Not exactly.
A familiar-looking woman with white hair, green eyes, and dressed in a maid's outfit suddenly appeared before me. A person I knew too well. It's her! It's freaking her! The psycho android who almost killed me! I immediately drew my sword and lunged forward, seizing the psycho android by the neck with one hand and pressing the blade against her throat. I then looked behind me and shouted, "Mirall, stand back!"
Daddy?
Risato, kill anyone who comes near her.
Acknowledged. What the hell is going on?
I faced the killer android once again and shouted, "How the frick are you still functioning? Who brought you back? Destiny? Answer me!" I shouted in anger as I drove my blade deeper into her fake human-like skin. Talk! The android stared back at me with the same indifferent, cold expression on her face. When suddenly, she locked lips with me. What the hell?
Synchronization complete.
What? Startled by the sudden kiss, I stumbled back, releasing the android as a strange warmth lingered on my lips. I felt soft, electric, and disturbingly human. But before I could make a second attempt to neutralize her, a car suddenly pulled up behind us, and out stepped someone all too familiar.
The hell is happening here? Carmine? Why are you attacking my mate, Jack? Are you out of your freaking mind?
Your mate?
Please forgive them, my lady. This entire situation is my fault. I intruded on our guest's conversation without offering a proper introduction, which caused unnecessary confusion and hostility. I take full responsibility.
The strange android stood in front of Carmine and bowed courteously.
Oh, is that so?
Carmine looked back at the android in confusion, but then scratched her cheek in embarrassment.
Oh, I didn't know you had a maid android, Carmine. Wow, so cool! She looks incredibly human.
Mirall let out an awkward chuckle, her eyes drifting over the android with a mix of curiosity and nervous admiration. Perhaps an attempt to ease the tension and smooth over the awkward moment.
That's very kind of you, Mirall. Yes, L-Eyes is very impressive indeed. She's a cutting-edge prototype that won't be on the market for at least a few years. I was lucky enough to receive it as an exclusive gift from a certain eccentric CEO.
Carmine spoke with pride, one hand resting on her hip, as if she were the genius who had designed and built the damn robot herself.
Anyway, I'm glad you guys are here. Let's not just stand around here like a bunch of hobos. My place is a few miles from here, so let's get going before nightfall. L-Eyes will help load your luggage into the car.
Luggage? This was supposed to be a quick stop for to refuel and continue the journey to Earth. None of us prepared anything.
I'll carry them myself.
Risato suddenly stepped forward, a jealous look on her face and several bags in her hands. Without even acknowledging the mate, she loaded the bags into the car herself. Huh? When did she even pack those?
Okay, then follow me. Everyone is so excited to see you.
Something about all of this stank to high heaven. Like I'm watching a play unfold in front of my very eyes with little to no input from my side. I wanted to abandon the whole thing, grab Mirall's hand and go back to the ship, but I didn't have much of a choice. If we don't refuel the ship, if we don't find an alternative power supply, we won't ever make it back to Earth. We'll be stranded in the middle of space, slowly depleting our oxygen supply and dying a horrible death. I let out a sigh as I walked into Carmine's car and sat next to Mirall, my hand firmly placed on the hilt of my sword. I might not have a choice in this matter, but I won't just stand by and watch this whole thing unfold. Warum bist du so misstrauisch? Wir wissen ja, dass dieser Android von Zero gebaut worden ist. Nicht von Destiny. Und Zero hat ihn damals ja einfach nur vergessen abzuschalten und Destiny hat ihn dann irgendwie übernommen oder irgendwie sowas. Aber der ist ja jetzt auch wieder von Zero geschickt worden. Also, da ist ja nichts Böses irgendwie im Sinn, würde ich mal behaupten. I won't let anyone disturb my long-awaited freedom. I won't let anyone snatch my hard-earned happiness. I won't let anyone make her cry. "30 minutes or so later, we finally arrived at our destination. I reached for the handle and opened the door, only to be met with an astonishing sight. A mansion. A freaking mansion?
Welcome to my lady's esteemed mansion. I hope you will enjoy your stay. Wow, this place is huge. You're doing well for yourself, huh, Carmine? Not at all, not at all.
Carmine chuckled as she brushed off what she figured was praise. And then, with a gesture towards the mansion entrance, she urged us to follow her. Mirall smiled and skipped after her, full of cheer, while Cece rolled her eyes in annoyance but trailed behind anyway. Only Risato and I lingered by the car. Butterfly! Yeah, I know. Another mansion located in another Jara village. What are the odds?
To be precise, 0.00001%. What are my orders?
Same as usual, stay by Miral's side and shoot to kill in case of any threat.
Acknowledged.
Risato let out a slight nod and then followed closely after Mirall. It was just me now, standing in front of the mansion. A strange feeling ran through me. Not fear, not anxiety, but something else entirely. I'd heard the stories from Alex and his companions, stories set in a mansion much like this one. Stories that left scars on their minds and made them forever wary in unexpected encounters with places like this. But the more I looked at the mansion, the more it seemed like just a simple block of concrete. An immovable object. A soulless man-made creation. Being afraid of a building, especially one reserved for the wealthy, makes no freaking sense. No, it was the people inside that deserved fear. Besides Carmine, I have no idea who lives here. Their personalities, their motives, their morality. I know nothing of it. Like going on a field mission with zero intel, I was stepping into dangerous territory. But it should be fine. No, it will be fine. Because Risato's with me. And as long as she's here, she'd make sure Mirall stays safe. Und außerdem, ich dachte immer noch, wir haben die Powers von The System. Wir sind praktisch ein Gott, was soll schon passieren? Even if I fail to protect her for whatever reason, Risato will never leave her side. That's all I care about. With that conviction firmly rooted in my mind, I stepped towards the mansion's door and walked inside. A grand stylish hall greeted my eyes, gleaming with opulence and elegance. Cece, Mirall, and Risato stood in a loose circle, deep in a conversation with Carmine, but they weren't the only people there. Among them was another familiar figure, laughing cheerfully, whose presence was strong and unmistakable. They then shifted their gaze, and their eyes suddenly met mine. A beat of silence, recognition dawned, and then their eyes suddenly turned wide. They took off running towards me and jumped at me, wrapping their arms around my neck.
Yeah! I missed you, Jackie! I missed you so much!
Zero? What are you doing here?
The same reason you're here, silly buddy!
What?
Zero has been telling us about her incredible career. Listen to this, Daddy. Not only did she become a super popular idol, but she retired on top and has her own company now. Isn't that so cool?
I suppose.
Yeah, you're embarrassing me, Mirall-chan. What I did was nothing compared to Jackie. He took down that shadow monster like it was nothing. So cool!
Zero shouted in excitement as she started swinging an invisible sword around and making a whoosh sound effect with her mouth.
Hey, Carmine-chan, you should give Jackie a cameo in the anime too.
Anime?
Oh, that's the other big news, Daddy. The story piece Carmine wrote about what happened to us with the system and all is being adapted to an anime soon. Isn't that super exciting? I wonder who's gonna voice my character. There's nothing admirable about that, Mirall. She's turning our trauma into a product, profiting off our pain. Honestly, it's pretty disgusting.
Cece spoke while rolling her eyes in annoyance.
Disgusting, huh? That's pretty hypocritical coming from you, Cecilia. Especially when you're here planning to do the same exact thing. What gives you the right to pick and choose?
The hell you're talking about, moneybags?
You're here to sign a release from a farm so they can use your likeness in the anime and get paid for it. How's that any different from what I'm doing? At least I put in the work writing the story, pitching it, and fighting to get it made. You're just signing a piece of paper.
Ja gut, aber dafür wird sie ja auch nur weniger bezahlt, also so minimale Prozente. Außerdem hat sie halt keine Ahnung davon.
Release form? Are you going senile, old hack? I have no idea what you're talking about. Huh? Isn't that why you guys are here? Because of the email invite I sent you? We're here to refuel our ship and leave. We're not interested in your blood money. What? Let's not fight, you guys. This is such a wonderful reunion. We should turn off the lights, light up the candles, and get very intimate with each other. I have some baby oil in my bag.
Jesus Christ.
Baby oil? Don't get near me, you perverted idol.
The longer I listened to this conversation, the more intense my headache became. Maybe suffocating in outer space wasn't such a bad idea. Risato stared at me, a hint of concern lingering in her gaze, but then suddenly she looked past me. I turned around to where she was looking when another familiar person suddenly caught my gaze. Ich mag diesen neuen Artstyle nicht, aber nicht, weil er nicht besser aussieht als der andere, sondern einfach, weil er nicht mehr passt. Also man hätte, wenn alle Charaktere updaten sollen, oder keins. Und ich glaube, keins wäre hier die bessere Option gewesen, weil man sich halt schon an den alten Artstyle gewöhnt hat. Und so schlecht sieht der alte jetzt auch nicht aus. Ich finde der ältere... Also ich gehe mal stark davon aus, dass beide generell mit KI generiert worden sind. Und ich glaube, das Problem, was hier einfach aufgetreten ist, dass der Entwickler neue Sprites haben wollte. Und er es wahrscheinlich einfach nicht mehr hinbekommen hat, die Sprites so zu generieren, wie sie in dem alten Artstyle aussehen. Also ich will zumindest hoffen, dass das der Grund ist. Aber dann, wie gesagt, in dem Fall hätte ich einfach alle geupgradet. Weil dann ist es wenigstens consistent. So ist es halt einfach nur ein Mischmasch aus keine Ahnung was. Naja. Was will man machen?
Long time no see, Observer. Key?
The mysterious girl I met during the ship incident stood in front of my very eyes. An alternative timeline version of the girl who once took my life a long time ago. To see her standing in front of me in a cute maid outfit was nothing short of surreal.
Key? Why are you dressed like that? Oh, she kinda works here. A few months ago, I ran into her in Lilith 5. She looked desperate for a place to live and some work, so I offered her a job. She's been helping allies with cleaning and taking care of the mansion ever since.
Ich weiß übrigens nicht, ob ich den Namen Alice aussprechen soll, weil so würde man ihn aussprechen, wenn man es so unterteilt eigentlich. Oder halt Alice. Da sie eigentlich Alice heißt, ist es eigentlich beides. Vielleicht sollte ich sie einfach Alice nennen.
Dinner is ready, my lady. Thank you, Key. We'll be right there. Huh? You actually make her call you my lady? How pretentious and stuck up can you be? No, she's the one who insisted on calling me that. I have nothing to do with this. Yeah, sure.
The bickering went on for a while until Zero suddenly complained she was hungry. So we moved into the kitchen and sat down for dinner. The food was incredibly good. So good, in fact, that I caught myself overindulging without even realizing it. Cece and Mirall were in the same boat. Now and then, I'd pause just to watch Mirall eat. The way she devoured her food was incredibly adorable. Das Wort devoured in Kombination mit incredibly adorable ist auch ein bisschen meh. Da hätte man ein anderes Wort für finden sollen. Aber egal. Zero, on the other hand, didn't eat much despite claiming to be hungry. Instead, she spent the entire meal rubbing her feet against my crotch under the table, no matter how many times I swat them away. Jesus Christ, Zero, das ist sexuelle Belästigung. Oblivious to everything going on, Carmine continued talking about her anime adaptation, doing her best to convince us to sign the release form. And before we knew it, dinner time was over. A few minutes later, I was standing in a well-illuminated hallway. I must excuse myself now, dear guest. I wish you a very enjoyable stay. Good night. The maid gave a respectful bow as we stood outside the room I'd been assigned. Her demeanor was polite, composed, and very professional. To think I had my sword at her throat just a few hours ago. It's a good thing androids don't hold a grudge, risotto being an exception, of course. The maid bowed one last time before she turned around and left. Alright, there's no sense in lingering. Let's go check our room. The moment I stepped into the room, I was immediately blown away by how fancy and expensive everything looked. Polished wood floors, blue curtains, and furniture that practically screamed new money. The bed looked like something out of a royal palace. Beautiful, soft pillows, silk sheets tucked in with military precision. A gentle scent of lavender lingered in the air, probably from some overpriced diffuser hidden in a corner. The last time I was in such a fancy bedroom was back when I was living with my first wife. I suppose in a way this current situation is somewhat similar to that. I shook off that ridiculous thought and flopped onto the soft, luxurious bed. The clock was creeping towards midnight. I told Risotto to stay in the same room as Mirall and keep an eye on her just in case. As much as I wanted to sleep next to Mirall and keep her safe, I knew I couldn't. Sharing a bedroom with my own daughter could easily lead to the wrong kind of misunderstanding. So with a quiet sigh, I pulled out my PDA and opened a certain app. What the hell? Oh good, looks like the tracking devices I planted are working perfectly. This should let me monitor every run in real time. So if anyone tries anything sketchy, I can jump in and neutralize them quickly and efficiently. Bedroom. Wie viele Bedrooms haben die denn hier? Also in so einer Mansion ist es jetzt nicht schlimm, so viele Bedrooms zu haben, aber es wundert mich halt ein bisschen, dass da keine anderen Räume sind. Also es sind andere Räume, obviously. Aber zum Beispiel die Library ist für eine Mansion mit mindestens 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Bedrooms. Plus wahrscheinlich noch ein Bett. Warum hat Key ein Doppelbett, wenn sie da als Maid arbeitet? Egal, dann hat... Ja gut, Alice ist ein Android. Da brauchst du wahrscheinlich kein Bedroom. Aber trotzdem, mit 5 Bedrooms auf einem Floor ist das eine ziemlich kleine Library für eine Mansion. Und vor allem jeder Bedroom hat auch noch ein eigenes Badezimmer. Wobei, ich weiß nicht, was mit Carmines Bedroom ist. Sie hat kein eigenes Badezimmer. Ja, wobei, technisch gesehen... Ist irgendwie ein bisschen wild hier angelegt. Spying on Mirall makes me uneasy, but I'm not willing to risk her getting hurt. Plus, I know she'll forgive me if I apologize to her. She's a very good daughter that way. Hier ist auch komisch, dass sie in so einer Mansion ist die Küche doch niemals im gleichen Zimmer wie das Esszimmer, auch wenn das hier leicht unterteilt ist. Ganz wild. Deswegen hat die doch auch mehrere Stockwerke. Ergibt alles keinen Sinn hier. Das ist ein komischer Hallplan. Wo ist denn die Treppe nach oben? Hier in der Library vielleicht, aber das wäre merkwürdig. Naja. Ich reg mich so sehr über sowas auf. Das ist ja nur ein Beispiel. Watching Miral's icon on my screen suddenly stirred a quiet sense of loneliness in my heart. I know I can't stay in the same room with her, but there's no harm in stopping by to say goodnight, right? Wo ist überhaupt dein Bedroom, ehrlich gesagt? Ach, da unten. Never mind. Du hast nur kein Icon. It's not like I'm going to bed anytime soon. Let's go visit Mirall. How do we do that? Das ist okay, man kann die Sachen anklicken. Visiting Cece this late at night might give her the wrong idea. It's better to visit her in the morning.
Yeah! Is this a booty call, Jackie? Come on in, come on in! I'll grab the baby oil!
This is what Zero would probably say if I go visit her at this hour. The android maid? I wonder what she's doing in the kitchen at this hour. Okay. Key, huh? Her room is right next to Mirall. I'm a little bit curious about what she's been up to since we last saw her. I should pay her a visit at one point, but definitely not now. No, I don't feel like talking to Carmine right now. All she'll talk about is that dumb anime anyway. Yeah, let's go see my cute daughter. I walked down the halls until I finally reached Mirall's room. From inside I could hear faint sounds, muffled movement, and soft noises, which suggest she's still awake. Alright, time to knock. The voices inside the room suddenly stopped, and a few seconds later the door opened.
Huh? Daddy?
Hi, Mirall.
Is everything okay?
Of course, I just wanted to wish you good night, that's all.
Oh. That's very sweet.
Mirall blushed as she locked eyes with me, refusing to look away. But then...
Who's at the door, Mirall? Is it Butterfly? If it's Butterfly, under no circumstances can he come in.
Risato shouted from inside the room while locking the door. What's going on in there, Mirall?
Nothing. I'm just giving little Risato a makeover. You know, hair, makeup, the works.
Makeover? She's not a doll, Mirall.
I know. We're just having fun.
Well, she kind of is a doll. Yeah, kind of moving doll, but a doll nonetheless.
Plus, she's the one who asked for it.
What, really?
Yes. Under that cold, deadly exterior of hers lies a very cute little tsundere. You should be kinder to her, you know? She's very attached to you. Mirall! Sorry.
Mirall apologized to Risato while laughing mischievously.
Okay, gotta go now. I have a feeling little Risato is about to blow a fuse. Good night, Daddy.
Good night. Don't stay up too late. We have an early trip tomorrow.
Okie dokie.
Mirall then gave me a little wave and walked inside. I guess as long as Risato stays by Mirall's side, everything will be okay. I should head back to my room too. I lie in bed while checking everyone's position on my PDA. Aside from the android maid, everyone's in their room. In other words, nothing seems out of the ordinary. If I ignore the earlier warning signs, the situation looks completely safe. But this isn't my first rodeo. I know just how fast everything can go to hell in the blink of an eye. That's why I'm staying up all night. I'll be tracking everyone in the mansion, watching for anything suspicious. Luckily, I've pulled more than my share of stakeouts, so losing a night of sleep shouldn't be an issue. I kept my eyes on the screen, watching each icon pulse steadily. Mirall, Risato, Zero, Carmine. All clear, I muttered to myself. Still normal, still safe, I repeated to myself. I leaned back just a little, letting my muscles relax, not my mind. This mansion might look peaceful, but I'm gonna let my guard down. I'm not letting my guard down, right? This mansion might look peaceful, but I'm gonna let my guard... Ich denk mal, hier fehlt ein Not. Ich hab's richtig gelesen, aber I'm not gonna let my guard down. I'll keep watching over you. I'll keep observing you. I'll keep protecting you. No matter what. Suddenly opened my eyes to find myself in a strange dirt road. What? Where am I? The maid android stood before me with an odd look on her face. What the hell is happening here? Carbine suddenly showed up in front of me with an angry look on her face. Carmine? Mirall was also there, standing beside me. Why are you attacking my mate, Jack? Are you out of your freaking mind? Huh? A horrific realization suddenly hit me. This place, the scene, it's the same. It's the exact freaking same. I apologize, my lady. This is my fault, and my fault alone. I didn't introduce myself properly to your dear guests, and that caused an unfortunate misunderstanding. If you have to be angry at anyone, please be angry at me. Oh, is that so? Carmine spoke as she scratched her cheek in embarrassment. There's no freaking doubt about it. This conversation, this scene, the way Carmine taps her foot, it's all the same. A freaking time loop. But how? How's this happening again? How am I here? How did I loop? Did I die? Where? When? My heartbeats thundered in my ears, loud, deafening, like a war drum inside my skull. This isn't some deja vu bullshit. This is real. I've done this. I've lived this before. I remembered every feeling. Did someone kill me? Carmine? The mate? Zero? Did I trigger my death somehow? A curse? A device? Poison? I tried to focus, to breathe, but the walls felt closer. The lights looked brighter. I clenched my fists, trying to ground myself, but my hands were ice cold. If time is resetting again, then so is everything else. That means... Mirall! She's trapped in a time loop too. Whoever or whatever killed me could target her too. It could happen again and again and again. Again and again. No, I won't let this happen. I won't let them hurt my daughter again. Anyway, I'm glad you guys are here. Let's not just stand around like a bunch of hobos. My place is a few miles from here, so let's get going before nightfall. Alice will help load your luggage into the car. While I was lost in thought, this familiar scene continued unfolding before my eyes. Carmine pointed towards her car, cheerfully urging us to follow her. Mirall let out a smile as she started skipping towards the car. I suddenly grabbed her from the arm and stopped her in her tracks. Daddy? Mirall looked at me in utter confusion, but I ignored her and faced Carmine and her mate. Drive the frick away. Huh? I won't repeat myself. Grab your android, get in the car and drive the frick away. What the hell is wrong with you, Jack? I pulled the trigger just enough to send a bullet tearing into the ground beside Carmine's left foot. Carmine stood there speechless, staring at me in utter horror. Move or the next one will be between your eyes. My lady, we should listen to him. At her mate's urging, Carmine backed away and climbed into the car. The android mate took the way. Jesus Christ. The android mate took the wheel and drove off without a word. I watched them vanish down the road while keeping a close eye on my surroundings. A few minutes later, it was just the four of us standing there. Daddy! Jack! A long, awkward silence settled over the place like a heavy fog. The air felt thick, charged with unspoken questions. I could feel the weight of every stare, faces painted with concern, confusion, and something else I couldn't quite name. Their eyes searched mine, hoping for answers, but no one dared to break the silence. No accusations, no demands, just quiet, tense waiting. They looked at me, waiting an explanation, but I simply turned around and held Miral's hand. Everyone, back to the ship. We are leaving this cursed planet. But we need to refuel, otherwise we are gonna die in space. About 20 minutes later, we broke free of orbit and headed out into space. I kept a close watch on the radar, but there were no signs of any pursuers. We were drifting into interplanetary space, with no planets, ships, or signs of life in sight. Just a dark, empty void ahead, representing the aftermath of the war that tore through the Alpha Centauri system.
Jack!
Risato appeared from behind me, with her eyes strangely closed. What is it?
What's our new destination?
Risato's voice cut through the tense silence, a stark contrast to the interrogation I'd expected about earlier events. Scan for any civilian or military vessels. We'll ask them to lend us some fuel to reach Earth.
What if they refuse? Ship fuel is incredibly valuable to this solar system.
Then we'll take it by force. A heavy silence fell between us. I watched Risato, her expression unreadable, knowing she understood my words, the fact that I was suggesting nothing less than piracy. I braced myself for a rebuttal, but it never came. Instead, she closed her eyes and spoke.
Acknowledged.
Risato turned around and left to the command room. I turned back to the window, losing myself in the bright tapestry of stars and galaxies that stretched out, limitless and indifferent before my eyes. A cold dread still clung to me, a phantom echo of the mansion. I wasn't exactly sure what had happened in that cursed place, how death had climbed me so swiftly, so utterly, that I hadn't even registered it. But it didn't matter. Not anymore. Since I got away from that place, since I escaped that insidious death trap, the loops should be over. The terrifying cycle, the endless replays of my demise, are only triggered by my death. And this time, unlike the suffocating helplessness of before, I'm not trapped in a small, isolated space. I have the vastness of the cosmos by my side. I can fly away. I can escape.
Ja, das Problem ist, du kannst raumtechnisch irgendwo hinfliehen, aber es sind ja Zeitloops und an die Zeit bist du gebunden. Davor kannst du nicht entkommen, also nicht auf diese Weise.
I can escape death.
Wenn Death der Auslöser ist.
I suddenly opened my eyes to find myself back in the dirt road.
What? How?
A familiar maid stood in front of my eyes once again.
What the hell is happening here? Carmine? Why are you attacking my maid, Jack? Are you out of your freaking mind?
No. I already left this planet. I escaped this place. I looked around me frantically, trying to come up with a logical explanation for the situation.
Huh? What's going on?
Carmine peered into my face and then reached to touch my shoulder, but I immediately took a step back and...
Get the frick away from me! What?
Risato, grab Mirall and take her back to the ship.
What's wrong, Jack?
Go with them, Cecilia. We're leaving this freaking place. While keeping my gun pointed at Carmine and her maid, I slowly backed away inside the ship. I closed the airlock behind me and ordered Risato to take off. Carmine stared at us the whole time, but didn't make a single move.
Jack?
Full throttle, Risato. I want us as far away from this solar system as possible.
Huh?
Don't worry about the fuel, just reach Sol. We'll figure out something there. Just get us the frick out of here.
Acknowledged.
Risato didn't question a word I said. She simply nodded her head and left. I turned around to face the window. How did this happen again? How did I loop back from inside the ship? I wasn't in that freaking mansion. I wasn't in any danger. I was here. I was here the whole time. How the frick did I trigger a time loop again? Did I die? No, that doesn't make sense. I was here. I was here the whole time. For seconds, for minutes, for hours. I didn't take a single step from here. No, I need to calm down. I need to think things rationally. Something must have happened. Something must have triggered the time loop. Someone could have been hiding in outer space, lurking in the darkness, and the moment we showed up on the radar, they tore us into pieces. A quick and painless death. A death so quick that my brain failed to even register it. Yeah, that would explain everything. Yeah, there's nothing to worry about. I ordered Risato to take the ship into overdrive. No vessel or hostile ship can attack us while cruising at that speed. We should be safe from the time loop. We should be safe from death. My hand rose to my forehead, wiping away the lingering beads of sweat as I took a deep breath. But the moment I lifted my gaze, an incredible sight greeted my eyes.
Daddy?
Mirall stood in front of me, a small figure clutching a glass of water. Her eyes, wide with concern, searched mine for a moment before she wordlessly offered me the glass. Thanks, Mirall.
Are you okay, Daddy? You're sweating a lot.
I'm fine, there's nothing to worry about.
Did something bad happen? Back on the planet? Did Carmine say or do anything to you?
No, I just didn't think we were safe there, that's all.
Safe?
Her voice was small and confused. She looked at me, waiting for me to explain further. There's nothing to worry about, Mirall. I already gave Risato new coordinates. Everything will be fine now.
Okay.
Mirall paused for a second before she added.
Then you should at least lie down, Daddy. You look very exhausted. You can sleep on my lap if you want.
It's okay. I just need to look over a few important things. Then I'll go rest in my room, I promise.
Oh, in that case, please wait here, Daddy. I'll go to the cafeteria and bring you something super nutritious and healthy.
Mirall then turned around and practically flew towards the cafeteria. A wave of guilt suddenly crashed over me. I must have scared my daughter half to death, reacting the way I did back there. She, Cecilia, and even Risato have no idea the loops are starting again. To them, I just snapped out of nowhere, pointing a gun around and barking orders. Ja, Cecilia, könntest du es ja erklären, die ist ja sehr verständlich, was das Thema angeht. Once we reach Seoul, I sit them all down and explain everything. I'll apologize if I have to, but I know they'll eventually understand. After all, this isn't our first time through a time loop. This isn't the first time we escaped death. Und wieder back to the village. Aber ich glaube, hier machen wir erstmal Pause. Safe. Back to title. Ja, ich bin mal gespannt. Es scheint ja, also meine Vermutung ist, es hat irgendwas mit der Maid zu tun. Einerseits, weil die hier auf dem Cover ist. Andererseits, weil sie uns ja, bevor das Ganze gestartet ist und wir immer wieder zu diesem Punkt zurückkommen, wo sie uns einen Kuss aufgedrückt hat und irgendwas synchronisiert hat. Ob das jetzt aber was mit Zero oder mit Carmine zu tun hat oder mit wem ganz anders, das steht natürlich noch offen. Aber, I guess, wir werden es dann demnächst sehen in kommenden Folgen. Denn bis dahin bedanke ich mich wie immer erstmal fürs Reinschalten. Wünsche euch allen noch einen wunderschönen Abend, eine wunderschöne Nacht oder wann auch immer ihr dieses Video sehen solltet, einen wunderschönen Tag im Allgemeinen. Und dann bis zum nächsten Mal bei der Null Series mit Observer 2. Bis dahin. Bye bye.